And we will be going live in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We're live.
Good morning, Owasso. This is the Twins with Owasso Live, and this is the Morning Loop. It is currently 8 a.m. like normal. It is 69 degrees outside. We got a high of 90 today, probably 91. It will feel hotter for sure, though. It already feels hotter than 69 degrees outside, so just be prepared. It's going to be a hot, humid day now. Traffic conditions going into Tulsa are actually really fair. It was not fair about 30 minutes ago, man. It was standstill at 7:30.
I'd say like 5, 10 minutes ago. It
Yeah,
wasn't
even
big.
then, yeah. So it just started clearing up just now. So if you have yet to commute into Tulsa, you haven't left yet, 169 is all cleared up for you now. So enjoy your commute in. Drive safe out there. Now, local events. Has anything really changed on the calendars? It's all about the same. That's been.
Not at all. Nothing's changed. We're still same old, same old. I'll double check it again later.
Okay, good deal. Well, so we'll just push right on into national news then. So national news, the big thing is Hunter Biden was found guilty of his ditching of his gun outside of a school and throwing it in a trash can. So he was found guilty of negligence, being a negligent firearm owner. So, uh, there are two major ramifications from this. If you haven't figured that out, so the primary reason that Hunter has been convicted is to legitimize Joe Biden's DOJ. Obviously, with the current Department of Justice or DOJ, is everything they've done has been called into question. Nobody trusts the legitimacy. It's obviously been a very weaponized Department of Justice against a public enemy number one, Donald Trump. So, in our opinion, I think Joe Biden threw his son Hunter under the bus in order to legitimize his DOJ, to make it look like he's not a political partisan, to make the DOJ appear that they're not a bunch of partisan hacks. The things that in this gun charge, and again, I think it's also he's a sacrificial lamb for gun control laws. I think he also did this to get a big W on gun control, because this will have big ramifications for gun owners in America. So those are the two things. He sacrificed his son for DOJ legitimacy and for to get a W against the gun owners. So that's what's scary right now. Because the things that I want Hunter Biden prosecuted for are the things that they're not even talking about in the media. I want him prosecuted for the Burisma dealings. I want him prosecuted for his China dealings for his dad on behalf of Joe Biden. I mean, remember he was negotiating $1 million deals and making sure that his dad got 10% from China. And the same goes for his Burisma dealings. If you remember, Hunter Biden was, again, he's not an oil guy. He didn't go to school to be an oil man. He was appointed to the board of directors on Burisma, which was the corrupt Ukrainian oil company that was being investigated until Joe Biden went in there and said, fire that prosecutor who's investigating Burisma, or you're not going to get the billions in dollars of aid money that America has promised you. And Joe Biden effectively got a guy fired. So that's what this is. Those are the things I want Hunter prosecuted for, but it's the stuff that they're doing the stuff that's going to hurt us, the American people. That's what they're prosecuting him for. They're trying to, again, it's about legitimizing the DOJ and trying to get a W for the Democratic Party against gun owners. That's why this was chosen. That's why he is the sacrificial lamb right here. And again, I guarantee you, if Joe loses the election before he's got on his way out, he will pardon his son.
Yeah, there's no doubt about that. He will definitely, on his way out, if he loses the election, before he officially.
His last act as president will be to pardon his son.
Yeah. And a lot of people are under the suspicion since they've gone after Donald Trump so hard, that he'll pardon Barack Obama, Hillary Clinton, and anybody else in the Democratic Party before he leaves for any other.
Yeah, to make sure that they can never be prosecuted for any of their crimes like Trump. So, it will be an interesting time. So that's what's going on right now. That's the the primary takeaway from the Hunter Biden case. If anything else It's just conjecture. It's hearsay. It doesn't matter. The primary takeaways are it's a legitimization of the DOJ by prosecuting the president's own son. That's why Joe hasn't really spoken about it, because he wants to appear that they've got some type of bona fides in the world, some gravitas, that they are actually a legitimate government. So that's what that's all about.
Yep.
Scary times we live in, man. Very scary, scary times.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, if you disagree with us, let us know in the likes and comments, man. Let us know if there's a bigger conspiracy or if we're just totally out of line here. But I don't think we are. I mean, this is exactly what the government is doing. This is exactly what I feel like is happening. It's just a legitimization of the DOJ and to make Joe Biden not look like a partisan hack.
And we all can completely see that. That's completely plausible. Mm-hmm. Like, oh well, you can't say that I'm not prosecuting people on my side of that. I just prosecuted my own son.
Mm-hmm. He's going to jail, man. Come on, man.
He ain't going to jail.
Yeah, exactly.
He's going to house arrest.
Yeah. I mean, we have video of him smoking crack with hookers. The kid's not going to jail. He'd have been in jail. If it was anybody else, they'd have been in jail a long time ago. I mean, you have video evidence of you smoking crack and sitting in bathtubs and beds with prostitutes and hookers. Like, you know, there is a two-tier justice system, or because, you know, they don't, the prosecutors don't want to prosecute someone who they can get political favors from.
Oh, we're also talking about the guy that in his own autobiography, he wrote that he got his brother's wife, you know, his dead brother's wife, addicted to crack.
Yeah. He's a winner, man. Just like Joe Biden. They're all winners, man. The Biden family's full of winners. Failing upwards, man.
Yeah, failing upwards was a family.
Yeah.
The Biden family would be it.
Yeah, they literally, I mean, he's fallen upstairs all the way to the presidency. But yeah. Well, let's push on to our next subjects. What's the first video you had pulled up there for me?
I got it right here. Hold on one second. Got to pull back up. So the first one here that we have is this school board that voted to let in a book that is clearly not, you know, kosher by any stretch of the means, but the school decided to let it in. Yikes. I gotta make sure I keep everything up and running here. But I'll let you go ahead and talk your 2 cents on it, because you sent this one to me, didn't you? Or did
I didn't send this one to you. You sent it to me.
Okay. Yeah, but anyway,
I've seen it.
Yeah, this school board is literally just going to be talking about how this parents are trying to get it, you know, taken down, and the school board just like, no, we like it. It's fair, you know, because they don't want to look like they're a bunch of book bigots. Banners and, you know, bigots. Yeah, exactly. So this goes to show you, like, it's a book that's clearly not appropriate for children, but the school board knows better than the parents.
Yeah, no kidding. Go ahead and play it up. See what's going on.
You got it. Let me get rid of this little lower third, and we'll be good to go. Transition. Play.
We have some comments.
The memoir All Boys Aren't Blue was challenged by community member Cindy Black, who said she was disturbed by what she had read.
Because of the book's focus on themes of incest, sodomy, sexual abuse, masturbation, blowjobs, and radical anti-white rhetoric.
The memoir recounts the coming of age of a queer black man with tellings of sexual experiences, abuse, and racism. At Carmel Clay, when a book is challenged, it goes before a committee made up of varying district employees to be reviewed. That committee recommended it stay on the shelves, writing in its report, quote, "We acknowledge that there are some very difficult sexual scenes in the book, but do not feel that it meets the definition of obscene or harmful to minors."
Motion carries 3-2.
In the end, the board was divided and voted 3-2 to keep it on the shelves.
Just disappointed. I believe that there's a lot of support in the community for protecting the minors in this community.
The problem is, once the damage is done, you can't take that away. Once it's been read, you can't unread it. Once it's been seen, you can't unsee it.
While disappointing for Black and her supporters, a majority of tonight's public speakers supported keeping the book.
There is strength and vulnerability in sharing our stories with others. I encourage you to allow this story.
Most of your children are not queer black boys.
But this particular queer black boy had an experience that statistically many of our children and many of us have had, and that is important.
Statistically speaking, that is
The
not
memoir
true.
All Boys Aren't
Yeah. Who was the school board primarily composed of? It looked like women to me, but
It didn't really show the school board.
yeah,
but
she was blacked out, right?
I couldn't tell. I'll watch through it again if you want to just like speak your
She was
piece on
shadowed, but yeah, I mean, this again. There's no altar that these people aren't willing to sacrifice children on. It's like what do children need to know about a queer black experience? I mean, I'm waiting for an answer. Like what? Like she goes, they need to read these stories so they can relate to these people. It's like why do they need to relate to these people if they're less than a percentage of the population? I think they need to relate to kids their own age. I think they need to relate to being innocent kids as long as possible.
Answer to your question real quick. The board was primarily women, but there were men on it too. There were at least a couple. I saw at least two.
So this is nonsense. Kids do not need to be exposed to this kind of thing at all. We need to protect children's innocence. We need to protect them from sexual propriety and immorality. Let kids be kids for as long as they can, because you only get to be a kid once. You only get to live life once. And the problem with this, they're using that you only live once philosophy, and they're going, well, we got to train them as early as possible because there's no way they'll change their minds in a couple of days because they're kids. I mean, it's like that's all the comedians that come out and say, my kid thought he was a pirate for a month.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, so
my kid wanted to be Superman for the year.
And I had my best friend's daughter dressed up as Spider-Man for like a year. Her favorite superhero. She wore a Spider-Man costume literally all the time. And guess what? Now she likes to wear dresses and braid hair.
Mm-hmm.
It's just a little phase. Yeah. But whenever they talk about gender, it's not a phase. It's reality. Yeah. And we have to take it deadly seriously.
This is who they are permanently, despite the fact that the average person in college changes their major like 2 or 3 times. Mm-hmm. Good Lord. Said you can change your major easier than it is to change your gender.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, we have to take these nut jobs 100% seriously. We can't even entertain the idea that maybe they're not trans. Maybe they're like, for the gay community should come out and stand up for these people, because these kids who are transitioning into, these men who are transitioning to girls, the gay community should step up and be like, maybe you're not a girl. Maybe you're just gay. Again, I'm not a big fan of that strategy either, but is there no rationality in the gay community anymore? It's like, oh, yep. Because, I mean, if this trans thing is actually a thing, then the gay community might as well just disappear too. Like, what purpose do you serve if you're not all gay? You're just women in men's body.
Yeah, well, it's what we talked about the other day when that's a punishment for being gay in the Middle East is if they catch you being gay in the Middle East, you get trans you. They will trans you. It's the punishment.
Mm-hmm. But here it's the cure. Let's not, and they pretend like the suicide rates change once they get transitioned. It doesn't change. It actually stays the same, 40%.
Yeah, which clearly means it's just somebody that's just really confused
mentally
about
unwell.
Who they are. They're mentally unwell. They're not sound.
Mm-hmm. So, yeah, go ahead and push on to the next video.
And this is the one you sent me, the dad interrupting the
drag
queen story.
This is, again, all this is related. All this is related. Like, these people who approve these ridiculous books for kids to be in elementary school libraries. This guy, I think this is actually in Dublin or something. I don't think it's here in America, but him taking a stand and going into the library at a public school and attempting to stop a trans story time. So check this out.
Excuse me. Sorry. Excuse me. Sorry. Excuse me.
This is a disgrace. This is morally wrong. Excuse me. Excuse me. Take your hands off me.
I'm trying to stop.
Drag queen story time for
Reading stories to children.
wrong.
We're protecting the
Margot, give me
trans.
that there.
Again,
Lads, this is absolutely disgraceful. We have kids, men dressed as prostitutes, reading filth to children. What's this all about, lads? We can't. Hi, how's it going? Lads, we can't stand for
see,
this.
and then they
Drag queen
block
story time.
the trans
People
person
are
reading
giving
the
out
book.
about it in America.
If
It's not
what
welcome
they're
in Ireland.
doing
Look at all these people here, lads.
is
They're a protection of
okay,
grooming.
why are they hiding it?
Right.
Yeah, the truth doesn't have to hide. It should be able to withstand.
This is a
sunlight.
piece. Look at this, lads. All
And it's just this. Does it stick like this or?
All women too. All like again, I said this a million times. Michael Malice. I'm quoting Michael Malice here, but there is no limits to what liberal white women will sacrifice their kids on the altar of progressivism for. They don't care. Progressivism is their god, and they will sacrifice children to it. I said everything comes back to filling the God gap. If you don't have a God, then your God is leftism. Your God is progressivism. Your God is the LGBTQ movement. Your God is the Israel-Palestine situation. That's what your God is. And these people would rather protect a mentally unwell person dressed like a stripper reading
to children
about we've played other videos where they sing, if you're queer, say free Palestine. If you're trans, say free Palestine. Like these things aren't connected. That trans person would not be living well in Palestine. He would be jailed or killed.
Yeah.
But this is the logical fallacy and the logical loopholes that these people live in. It's a cultural Marxist ideology where it's like all people who are oppressed are related in some way, despite the fact that they have very different end goals with their ideologies.
Mm-hmm.
So
it's crazy. It's absolutely crazy. And two, it's why you have to hide it. And two, if there was a straight man that was half naked reading to children, none of these teachers none of these female teachers would be like, this is okay. This is okay. They'd be like, this is disturbing. If a heterosexual man was just reading half naked in front of children, they would be offended.
Well, it's like when the mom dressed up in the same outfit that a trans person wore to read to a story hour, but she shows up to the school board meeting. I can't remember. I remember seeing this video, and she wore like a leotard outfit, and she's like, they're like, ma'am, you can't wear that in here. That's inappropriate. She goes, this was what the trans person was wearing when they were reading to my kids in school. Why can't I wear this to this school board meeting? This is a school board meeting, ma'am. We have decorum here. It's like, okay, well, you don't have it at school apparently, and you let these weirdos who are not affiliated with the school come in and read. Like, what didn't we show yesterday that there's that pervasive PragerU video exposed that the teachers are getting kickbacks and getting money from these pro-LGBT groups that they're, hey, let us come in and give a speech and we will give you government grant money.
You mean to tell me that teachers do things for money? Who would have guessed?
Who would have guessed? And that's in California where teachers are actually, they're paid well compared here in Oklahoma, but then again, the price of inflation is not really going to help them out any. So,
did you want me to pull up that video, the PragerU one?
No, you don't have to pull. We watched it yesterday. So why don't you go ahead and while we're on the subject of gays, pull up that Babylon Bee.
Absolutely. And it was more of a Facebook thing.
Yeah.
There you go.
So I don't know if y'all can see this, but read what it says for us, Chad.
You got it. Let me move it just a hair. All right. Babylon Bee. Kids avoid felony by defacing Pride mural with free Gaza skid marks.
And again, that's another loophole that, if those guys had tried to etch mark, I was trying to put free Palestine with my tire tread on there. They'd probably get away scot-free instead of being criminally prosecuted for doing skid marks on the Pride flags and the Pride streets. But yeah, Babylon Bee crushing it again, just hitting the nail on the head
every time.
Babylon Bee, their cultural criticism is on point every single time. Now we got another video kind of talking about the LGBTQ community. And I know this feels like it's LGBTQ hate month when you're here with us, but it's not. We're just calling out the hypocrisy of these movements. You know, like I said, again, we don't hate the sinner, we hate the sin. So, but right here, this video here is astounding. Like, it should make any man afraid. I don't know. Just watch it, and then we will give our constructive criticism on the tail end.
Sperm donors have to pay child support. Back in 2018, I was artificially inseminated because I'm a lesbian and I wanted kids, right? So me and my girlfriend decided that we were going to go find a donor and have a kid that way. When we broke up, she said that she had no legal obligation to this child and she didn't want to be the parent anymore. Of course, I was like, whatever, that's fine. Just give me, some child support. And she said, did you not hear me? I have no legal obligation to this child. I'm not going to pay child support. So now I'm trying to get the sperm donor to pay child support because biologically he is my daughter's parent. So I want him to give me his half. I don't know what to do at this point, but I just think it's really messed up that somebody can just go donate sperm and then have nothing else to do with the kid. Why don't sperm donors have to pay child support?
That is evil right there. Pure, unadulterated evil. Gentlemen, do not donate to sperm banks anymore. Do not do it. Because crazy people like that are going to win court cases and get money from you for having the crazy thought to donate sperm to make other people happy with their attempts at families. But yeah, no, you got these lesbians coming after people. Again, women have every right to opt out of responsibility at every given opportunity. They can abort the child. They can take birth control. They can give the kid up for adoption. But guess what? The man's always on the hook, even if he's just a sperm donor. I mean, she had a girlfriend. They wanted to have kids, and then the girl was like, "I'm out. I don't want to be a mom." She has no financial responsibility. She wasn't married to her, so I mean, again, but like, there's no court system that's going to put a woman on the hook for child support in a lesbian relationship. That's crazy. Legal precedent hadn't been set for that. Mm-hmm. But you know what? They'll go after the sperm donor.
And unfortunately, I think there would be a precedence or a case for that as well.
Yeah.
Like, you knew what you were doing when you went to the sperm bank, what it was going to be used for.
Yeah, absolutely.
I could easily see that being argued.
Absolutely. You were compensated. Probably. I mean, I don't know if I assume they compensate sperm donors. I'm not sure.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they do.
Yeah, I mean, that dodgeball thing's like, we could donate blood and semen. What? Not mixed together. But I assume they are compensated in some degree. But look at that. I mean, this woman thinks that a sperm donor should be financially on the hook for this kid. That it's nuts. Like, I mean, these people are mentally unwell. But again, just look at that. I mean, her girlfriend opted out. She ran away. She could give that kid up for adoption and give it to a quote-unquote normal family. And the kid wouldn't have to grow up in a home where I guarantee you a narcissistic mom would convince their kids that they're gay. I mean, that woman is not well.
I really hope this one's fake. I hope this is like one of those fake, like, oh, I was just being funny.
Yeah, I hope we're getting trolled on this, but I don't think we are. I mean, if you want to know why the red pill movement and the manosphere is so big, it's because of crap like that.
Yeah, you want to know why all these boys are going over to Andrew Tate and all these guys? This is why. Yeah,
if that's real, and like I said, and I guarantee you, if we pulled up that video and went down in the comments, I guarantee you there's a lot of people agreeing with her. A lot of LGBTQ members agreeing with her, I would imagine.
See what I can find.
Well, I mean,
Biden supporter is fine. Even lesbian couples, man has to pay.
Yep.
Good stuff. To think a donor owes you anything. I said a lot of them are actually against this girl. But
yeah, because this is Lib's a TikTok post.
Yes. Poor child, no father, and a clown show mother.
Mm-hmm.
Oh man, some of these comments. It says, okay, good. There's one right here. It says, "Hold your horses. She's a comedian. I hope that's true."
Oh yeah, God willing, I hope this was a troll. This was her post. But again, comedians tend to be pretty left-wing anymore, especially female ones.
Mm-hmm. I hope she is a comedian, and I really do hope this is fake.
Yeah, I hope this is a troll. I want this to be a troll because that's nuts. So, God willing, she is exactly what that commenter said and is just a comedian. But yeah, do we have any other videos?
No, that's really all I had for today. We didn't have a lot for today's show because we are holding off on the DEI stuff till tomorrow.
Yeah. Okay. Perfect. Yeah. So for tomorrow's show, we're going to break down who was the group of people? What was the study done by? It was the Katie group or the?
It was the hang on one second. It was the McKinney company.
The
group.
McKinney company
and
put
two
together
professors, one from North Carolina, the University of North Carolina, and one from Texas A&M, which is one of them's last name Hand, and the other one is Green. Both tried to replicate the study. The McKinney company refused to give the data points that they had, so they just reverse engineer it using the data that they had. And they go, it's impossible to reduplicate this study, and the study is completely wrong.
So again, yeah, we're going to go over the scam of DEI, and we're going to break down the McKinney DEI study and show you their methodology and show you how to a professor from A&M and a professor from North Carolina, yeah, and they broke it down and basically said that these results they got, they had the conclusion before they had finished the results or before they did all the research. So again, typical left-wing dogma. They have their conclusion. They have to put together a test to give them something that looks like methodology and that just gets them to their foregone conclusion. But then when they reverse engineered their study with the limited data that they would release to them, they could not reduplicate it. So we're going to go over that in extensive detail and talk about, again, the scam of DEI tomorrow. So that's what I've got for you today. I hope that everyone has a wonderful day. Drive safe out there. God bless y'all.
This is the Twins with the Morning Loop. We're signing off. See you later, everybody.